3 hams will certainly kill him. 3 hams.
Hello and welcome to the Catboy Rants. Today we're going to talk about a movie that came out in 1996. That would put me about 15 years old. I remember that night very well. I was going to Boy Scouts that night, but I had been told on TV that this show was going to be on at 8 o'clock on a Wednesday, when we had Boy Scouts. So I had to go and say, Mom, because she was going to be staying home, Mom, can you please tape it for me? For those who don't know, when we say tape it, we mean you take a VHS tape, pop it in a VCR, and hit record when the show comes on. She told me, Ken, I will be happy to do it for you. So I was stoked. You know why? Because one, I am going to be able to watch this show that all my friends at school are going, Ken, you got to watch it. It's going to be awesome. It's going to be the Gen X movie. It's going to be on Fox. It's going to be awesome. Oh my God. Well, went to Boy Scouts. Entire time not thinking about anything happening other than what was going to happen when I got home. Going to watch that show. So I get home, find out the VCR is not on. My mother never taped it, and I only caught the last 2 minutes of the show. And to this day, I had not, until 2 weeks ago, I had not watched this movie at all. Thanks to YouTube, I have finally watched this movie. The movie, that you're probably wondering what it is Generation X. Now, those of you who don't know what Generation X is, Generation X was one of the Marvel teams that came out for a lot of us who really liked Marvel, but they didn't want... Think of the Teen Titans, okay? That's what they were. They were the Marvel's Teen Titans. And you had forerunners on there like Jubilee. Let's see if I can... There we go. Jubilee. You had Skin, a guy who could wrap... he had stretchable skin. So think of Mr. Elastic or Plastic Man. You had Sync, who basically could sync up with other people's powers. You had Monet, or M. She was super strong. She could fly. She was invulnerable. She was super smart. Yeah, she was super. You had Husk, who could shed her skin to whatever form she wanted underneath. So it could be, rock hard. It could be jelly-like underneath. It could be anything. You had Chamber, who his upper torso and his lower jaw were completely gone. They had been blasted away. You had Mondo, who, like in Gen 13, Grunge, if he touched whatever he touched, he could absorb, and he could become that thickness or that density. So if he touched Diamond, he was Diamond hard. If he touched Jello, he'd become jelly-like. If he touched a wall of wood, he'd have the properties of wood. So those of you out there know that if he had the properties of wood and he could float, he would be a witch. There's a few Monty Python fans out there. Anyways, now you also had the leaders of the team, which was White Queen, Emma Frost, and Banshee. They basically took care of things at the school. White Queen was kind of trying to make up for what she did with the Hellions, her group before that she tried to turn into the next big thing, but unfortunately they all died. So with this new group, she was trying her best to teach them everything they needed to know to be, one, able to survive in the world that hated them, and two, actually be awesome young people. So, it was good. It was a good series. The comic book series, I liked it. Almost everybody died though. So Yeah. But you like I said, you had Jubilee in there. You had all these other characters. You had a lot of nice plot points. I especially love when Jubilee escaped from. I mean, look at this. This is skin. His skin is melting off him. My God, that's awesome. But anyways, so think about that. You notice that you have all these characters, and you're like, this is going to be awesome. I mean, it's Fox. They already had the X-Men cartoon show. So come on, we're going to see Generation X, which is basically young X-Men. And as a 15-year-old boy, you're like, ah, ha, ha, ha! So yeah. So I finally got to watch it. And I was thinking, young 15-year-old me is going to be so happy because he's finally going to be able to watch something he's never watched before. He's only heard from friends or from things on the internet. And it sucked. It sucked so hard. And there's reasons why. Number one, the budget looked like crap, okay? I mean, if we had Bruce Campbell narrating this damn thing, Bruce would basically say, this probably had the same budget as Evil Dead, the original. Wish he did the narration for it, but that's off on its own. Now, the characters that were in here, the most notable is Matt Frewer. You might know him as the Trash Can Man from The Stand, or as the time traveler from the future who was trying to go and get all the stuff, the time traveler from the future who was trying to get all the stuff from the Enterprise to take back with him to the past so he could pass it out as his own inventions. He's also been in a lot of other shows. He's done a lot of voice acting work. I mean, he's a great actor, a great voice actor. I mean, the only other person of note in this is the guy who played Mondo. His name was Bumper Robinson. And he's done some voice acting work later on. He actually did the voice for Rhodey from the Avengers. Not in the live action, but the cartoon show. So, but he's done a lot of other voice acting work. Good guy. Everybody else is kind of fallen off the face of the earth kind of stuff, which is fine, because some of these people deserve that. Out of the characters that they kept out of the original team, they still have Mondo, they still have Jubilee, they have Skin, and they have M. Always freaking forget M. Now, that's it. Now, remember we had 4 people, and there's supposed to be Mondo, Sync, Jubilee, M, Skin, Sync, Chamber, and Husk. So 4 out of 6, okay? You want to know who the others are? Give you a hint, there's only 2 more people. Guy named Refrax, who has special eye powers. He can see through stuff. Good job. And then you have another girl named Buff. Guess what her power is? She's fucking strong. She's musculature. She's strong. That's it. You know why they didn't do Husks or Chamber? Because they didn't have enough money. So instead of just, lying to us and be like, look, we're just going to throw sparks at the screen, and that's going to be Chamber's exploding, chest, and for Husk, we're just going to have her wear paper mache. They could have done that, and 50-year-old us would have been like, oh, this is awesome. No, we didn't get that. We didn't get those characters. We didn't even get Sync, and that would have been the easiest fucking character to do. The movie starts out with Skin going to the school. His parents are very happy with him. His mother, his brother, his entire family is very happy. He's going to the school. And to prove that he's a mutant, as he leaves in the car, his little sister grabs a hold of his hand and his arm stretches. But the thing is, though, this Skin every time it stretches, it hurts a lot. Like getting kicked in the balls over and over again. Now, I remember in the beginning when he didn't have a lot of control of his powers, it did hurt. So we'll give it a pass on that, okay? We'll give you that. This is his first time. Next person we see is Jubilee. Jubilee is playing video games, and you're thinking, well, wait a minute, Jubilee was with the original X-Men. She should already be at the mansion. Oh, no. No. She's not there. She's with her family, but she's playing video games, and there's this guy that's trying to brainwash kids into playing video games. You know how you do that? You just make a good video game. That's all you gotta do. You don't have to brainwash kids. You don't have to brainwash adults to play video games. You just put out a good video game. I mean, hell, even some crap video games that are out there, people will still play. So, yeah. Anyways, she's playing the video game. As she's playing, sparks come out of her hands, and then they take her away because she's immune. After that, you find out that Skin gets picked up by Banshee and Emma Frost. Emma Frost is just walking around in her normal white outfit. I say outfit because it's a corset and a jacket. Banshee doesn't even wear anything from his original costume. He's just wearing regular clothes. Which is fine. Again, this is fine. So he tells him, look, they go pick up Jubilee. She uses her mind powers to basically make everybody, think that they're transferring the prisoner, and then they go pick up Skin. And which is fine, but they don't tell him we're taking you to the school, because at the school they teach him other things other than this is how you use your powers. They teach him, reading, writing, and arithmetic. So that way, of course, you don't have these people to go out there and be like, I'm going to use my superpowers that can levitate the world. And I'm going to use it using gravity. Great, do you have gravity powers? No, I use gravity. Well, what's gravity? My brain. Your brain is not gravity. Are you dumb? You freaking idiots? Why didn't you have sync? Anyways. They take him back to the school. And Mondo refracts Buff and M already there. M, as all of us have actually read in the comics, was kind of stuck up. Not as much as this girl, but she knows she is the thing. So she deals with it. She basically tells everybody, I am a level 8 invulnerable mutant. Ha ha ha. And Jubilee's like, thank you. Well, what's your power? I shoot fireworks from my hands. They should be making more fun of refracts. I'm sorry. At least everybody in that group, Jubilee could go, and people will fall or freak out. Refracts will go, they're wearing bikini briefs. Kick that shit out of school. Kick him out of school. Fucking get Chamber there. Fucking Chamber. Or Sync. Of course, being they're the new kids, Skin, and Jubilee are picked on by the other kids, except for, of course, Buff. She's kind of off to the side away from everybody else. So, she doesn't really mess with anybody. She just, leaves them alone. At this point in the movie, they are basically told they are going to be made into superheroes. They also are given duties. They're shown Cerebro, which looks nothing like the cartoons, or the comics, or the movies. Just looks like a big damn computer. They are then shown what Skin has to do, and he is in charge of the security. Yes, that's what we do. We're going to give you, this is your first fucking day. We're going to put you on security detail. You're going to have to make sure you are in charge of this computer system you have no idea how to use. And day 2, we're going to go ahead and test you on it. Which they do. Now, few things. While this is happening, our good man, Russell Tress, which is played by Matt Frewer, is fucking insane. Is talking to his boss about how they are going to find the way into dreams, and they are going to find a way to make people crave their products through dreams. So it's basically like Futurama with the dream commercials. Only they're trying to do that, and he's been working on getting into people's dreams, and he needs mutants to do it. But he has a working machine that lets him do it anyways. He actually does this to board members. After they tell him, well, you got a good idea there, but we don't really think this is a very good idea because, we're basically brainwashing the American people, and that's why we can't put subliminal messages in shows. So until you basically clean up your act, we are not going to fund this. Which is a good idea. I know I say that, but it's a good idea, because don't give this jackass money. He's going to go ahead and fuck shit up. And he does. He actually lets one of the members jump out the window and kill themselves in his dream, which kills him right out. Now, we go back and forth, talking about how, the group is trying to figure out how to niche together. Turns out that the school has one of these dream machines too, because Emma Frost was on this group that Trash was in with, and they created something, but they didn't want anybody to do it, so she stopped doing it and took the prototype. So basically, and she's been hiding it, but they didn't really hide it very well, because they left all of the documentation lying all over the library and in the computer system. So it's basically like, if I had my secret plans and I told everybody this is my secret plans, you guys can't see them. It's for the ultimate Deus Ex Machina machine. You cannot use it. But I'm going to put it up on top of the refrigerator so that only those who are tall enough can reach it. But don't use it. You don't do that. You don't fucking do that. You put it away, like, in your room and hide it. Or at least don't tell everybody about it. But Skin and Jubilee find it. And Skin meets up with our Dream Man. And Dream Man basically tells him he wants him to do all these things. And he's really happy that he met a mutant that is able to do it. Now you're probably wondering, well, how is it that they're able to do it? Well, they're told by Emma Frost that they're able to do it because they're mutants. That's it. Apparently all mutants have the psychic abilities. So the ones that have psychic abilities are just basically the mutants with no mutant powers. You're probably going to fight me on this, but it's true. If you look in the movie, Emma Frost tells him every mutant has some psychic powers. You should have the ability to travel through dreams, which I call bullshit. That is a mutant power, and only mutants who have the power should be able to fucking do that. So if you if you're Professor X and you have the ability to do that, good for you. Your Skin, you don't have that ability. You have stretchy skin. That's your fucking ability. Anyways, he comes back, and Jubilee does it too, and she gets really freaked out because of her parents. Which she's rightfully to be freaked out about it. He says he wants to do it again, and they do it again. This time, that when he does it, he is able to keep the Dream Man inside the dream, which is cool. He just pulls him back using his mutant power to pull, to stretchy skin. So yeah, he just does that, and after the stretchy skin, the guy is in a coma because, he just got his consciousness ripped out of his body. So, let's rephrase this. Skin ripped the mind out of some guy. Good for him. Not a good idea, really, because that gives the villain greater chance to come back and try to kill you because you did something to him. Now, you're probably wondering, well, what happens? I mean, he's comatose. There's no way he can... No, since he's out of his body, he's basically like the Shadow King. And the Shadow King, as we all know, was another telepath that controlled Storm for a while. And so he's basically just wandering about in the ethereal plane. And this goes to a head when he meets up with Skin again and tells him, I want you to get me out back into my body. Which Skin is like, that would be breaking and entering into places I don't want to go. And he says, no, fuck you, you gotta do it. If you don't do it, I will just basically kill you. So Skin does it. And after he does it, he is bound to help him because he's, a superhero. He lets the rest of them know he is trapped in a machine. He's going to get his brain screwed out. Not in the good way, the bad way. And basically, a lot of bad things. The movie comes to a head. The team realizes they need to save him. And they do by using the dream machine that Emma Frost said don't use. And since they only have the one, of course everybody could go in there. Jubilee goes in there, takes out the guy. They snap the guy away from his body again, so he's comatose again. And we are back to him being comatose and in the dream world. But this time he's away because Emma Frost took care of him in the dream world. So there's that. And we end where everybody's happy, everybody's jovial, and they learn that they are getting new outfits that look just like that. So at least they got that fucking right. The movie itself was not very good, as you may know. It made me hurt on multiple levels just because it was something that I thought would be awesome, and I felt really hurt when I was a kid that I didn't get to watch it. But now that I have watched it, I felt that all that time that I wanted to watch it was basically bullshit. Because there is a new hate in my life. A new show that I do not like. And it is Generation X. And there's a reason behind that. And there's several reasons, okay? I'm not just saying it just to say it. I'm saying it because if you're going to do a movie, this is basically, you're going to do a Superman movie and not have Lois Lane. You're going to do a Batman movie and not have Alfred. You're going to do a Avengers movie and not have Captain America. You're going to do a Spider-Man movie and not have Mary Jane. You can't fucking do that. They didn't have characters that were supposed to be... And like I said, I can understand Chamber, because Chamber would be a nightmare to try to animate, and if they didn't have the money, it would be a bitch to try to get that all taken care of. Husk You wouldn't even have to show us anything. She could go. It'd be like Starship Troopers 2, where you don't get to see the people and the bugs together. You get to see the people and the bugs in separate shots. Maybe some of them spliced together, but not done well. Done crappily. You could have been like, okay, she's going to change. So she goes off screen. Next scene, you see something hanging off her, but it's a different costume underneath. We would have accepted that. But no, we've got buff and refracts and no fucking sync. Because like I said, at least with sync, he looks like you and me. He does. There's nothing different other than him looking like you and me. Okay? His power is to just basically sync up and feel other people's abilities. He's like Mimic, only he doesn't steal them. He just he's just there. So if he's around Wolverine, he has ultimate healing ability. If he's around Cyclops, he can shoot lasers from his eyes, which is good for this team because he was able to use some of Monet's powers, but not all of them, which is always weird. But like I said, this got to me as soon as I started watching it. As well as, of course, with Skin, you do not give the keys to the fucking gun, the Cerebro. You do not give him the keys to the surveillance system, because if you do, he's a kid. You don't do that. You don't give the fucking kid the keys. And it's only Banshee and freaking White Queen at this place. I mean, there's nobody else. At least in the comic books, they had Archie and Leech, and Penance was running around. And there was every once in a while, someone else would show up. They'd be like, hey, Cannonball, how you doing? Oh, I'm doing all right. I'm here to see my sister Husk. Oh, how you doing, sis? I'm doing all right. Okay, I'm going to go out and be X-Man again. See you kids later. Bye. Whoosh. Or, hi, my name's Cyclops. Hi, Cyclops. What you guys doing? We're studying arithmetic. Well, that's wonderful, kids. Keep up the good work. Jubilee, you are okay. See you later. Bye. Bye. But no! No! You don't get this shit. And that's why I'm so worked up. And that's why I'm not going to post a lot of the movie. I'm going to put some of the movie that aggravated me the most at the end of this. But unlike the other times where I kind of splice in little things, I'm not going to do that. Because you do not need to see this movie. You do not need to read the comic books. If you've got a good friend who has comic books, like myself, I collected these when I was younger. My brother collected them too. So and when he decided he didn't like comic books anymore, guess who got all the comic books? Yeah. So I got to see all this stuff. And like I said, here's fucking Chamber. Here's fucking Chamber. He's got energy coming out. He was fucking awesome. And I won't go off the handle as much. Even though they could easily put Sync in there, because there's no, he doesn't need anything. He doesn't have to have it or anything. It just